Clint, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with us. Carrier has been all in on the Palm Beach North Chamber since you've gotten engaged. You're on our board, do so much for us. So I really appreciate you jumping all in on the strategic plan and helping us. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Noel. And it's absolutely a privilege to be even invited to take part in something as pivotal as the strategic plan for the region. Absolutely. I have been participating with the Chamber for quite a while now in a couple of different events, really bringing full circle, right, the importance of what we do as a Chamber and how that contributes to the overall growth of the region. I think, as I participated throughout this process, just seeing the engagement and involvement of everyone, right, not just our Chamber members, our local community partners and businesses, but even our elected officials and them having a voice and a say in how do we really shape and plan for the future of this region, and then how do we actually get to the execution piece and generate that involvement as well. So thank you for having me as a part of that process, and I'm really looking forward to as we execute on this.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the plan, right? So Carrier is a major global employer, right? Why is a unified regional strategic plan like the plan we're getting to roll out so important for Palm Beach North?
Yeah, so as a global employer, we operate in global competitive markets. A unified strategic plan is important because it brings together that clarity, that planning, and that strategic vision that we're looking for. To make sure that all of us, that when you look at the education, business, community partners, that we're not moving in different directions, but we're all moving in the same direction together. So it unifies all those entities together to make sure that we have the right initiatives, that we're aligning around the right priorities, that we have executable work plans, and that we're really setting the stage for Palm Beach North to be a global player.
So collaboration is something that we take a great pride in. I think Palm Beach North as a region does a really good job of collaborating. We public and private sector do a great job of just working together to move the needle forward. How does that help employers like yourself better attract, develop, and retain a workforce needed for long-term success?
Yeah, so we're no longer compete just on a local level for talent. You're looking at a national and even a global level for competing for talent. You want to look at, what are those key important factors as we look as a long-term of this region, where we align ourselves around, right? Where do those employees see themselves in terms of prospects, investments in the area and in their own growth? Because we want to create not just a place where people want to work, we want to retain them in the region, and we want to make sure that they see a future in the region as well.
So let's talk about our regional connectivity. Things like the airport, transportation, ports. Why is that so critical to business competitiveness?
So good question. I think connectivity is opportunity. If we look at the quality of the infrastructure that we have, whether the things you named, our roads, our ports, our airports, it's important because it's a few things. It helps reduce timelines. It helps increase efficiency. Let's think about business across county lines. And then if you look at Palm Beach North on a more granular level, the quality of that infrastructure is really going to help facilitate a lot of those things. So that's what businesses and these organizations want to look at is what is not only from a business standpoint, the ease of transport of goods, how do they operate their businesses more efficiently, but also the investment piece, right? Because now you're opening up whole new markets of talent pools if that infrastructure is in place. So that's really the importance of making sure we have both the quality and reliable infrastructure in place.
So resiliency is a big part of this plan. We talk a lot about it in the plan. What does building a more resilient region mean for businesses, employees, and really the broader economy?
So resiliency means capability, it means adaptability. And as you think about putting those things into play, from an employer standpoint, they want to know what is their resistance to economic factors, environmental factors, how do they address workforce-related issues they may face, and then secondly, from the employee standpoint, they're looking at it from what does it look like from a job stability, job growth, job prospects, and knowing that, to my earlier point, that the investment is going to be there in the places that they live and work. Now, pivoting to the last piece of this, the regional standpoint, again, it's resiliency. How do we absorb the shocks, and how do we continue to maintain the economic momentum and the quality of life that we have here in Palm Beach North?
So, what message would you share with other business leaders in the community about the importance to get engaged and be a part of moving this strategic plan forward?
Yeah, so my message to them is your voice matters, right? It's almost a call to action. It's time to be engaged. It's hard to set Palm Beach North as a global standard if you're operating from the sidelines. So it's a matter of getting involved, co-collaborating. When you look at school curriculums, even from that standpoint, it's important because the businesses, the employees that work at those businesses, we all have, some of us have families, and it's important to us, right? So it's the full circle, the full picture of that. How do we bring together the involvement, the collaboration? How do we unify and align around common principles and goals? And how do we elicit that support? So it's more or less a call to action for business owners to really be involved and really take a seat at the table.
Yeah, together we're stronger, aren't we?
Absolutely, we are.
Well,
Yeah.
Clint, thank you again so much for everything that you do. Carrier, again, has been a great partner. You've been unbelievable to work with, and I
Thank you.
really appreciate your leadership and everything you do for us.
Thank you so much, Noel. It's my privilege. Thank
Great.
you.